what I'd like to do is I will actually, I'm going to share my screen with you, and I've already logged to the website. So the website is caxed.co.nz. And you should be able to see my entire screen there. And this is the website that you would come to. One, to look for resources, and two, also when you're using the online subscription. So what I'll do is, just for future reference, you can look at this at any stage that you like, and in the bottom right hand corner there is an online teacher resources image. Simply clicking on this will actually take you through to the subscription. If we scroll down the page, you'll actually find 2/3 of the way down is the trial version. By clicking on the trial version and then just reiterating that you're going to the trial version in the top left hand corner, it will take you immediately through to where there are 3 chapters loaded, as well as Blackline Masters, extra tasks, mapping, and the interactive checkups, which are in the books, but we've also made them interactive online. What I'm going to do is, just so that you can see the amount of resource that has been loaded here, I'm actually going to log in. There we go. So I've logged in. It takes me back to the trial version or subscriptions page, but now that I'm logged in, I can actually go to the subscriptions, and I'm going to click on the Teacher Resource Level 4A. Right, now that I'm at this page, you can see that all the resources for the books, or the book, Level 4A, is actually sectioned out into each chapter. By starting off with the useful teacher information, you'll find that the pages load extremely quickly. And one thing I'd like to point out is that there's a little link here which says more on how to use this resource. Every time you see a red link like this with an underline, by clicking on it, it will immediately drop down additional information. Now, that information has already been preloaded at the time that you clicked on the very first page to view. So every time you click on a page, all the information that you need to see on that page has already been loaded. You will not be waiting for further information to then load for that particular page or resource. I'll let you read this at your own leisure, but it's quite comprehensive. We also include useful teacher links. Now, this simply refers you to where you can find additional resource in the New Zealand NZ Curriculum website and also on the NZ Maths website. We've put it all in one place simply because the authors understand that teachers are really busy, and really, when it comes down to it, time is the most important commodity you have in the planning side of things. So they've put all this resource there available for you, so you can click through and it's there in one hit. And as you can see, there's a number of links that have actually been included in there. There's a little bit of information on, or suggestions on, how to run self-evaluation, and a suggestion to do with question of the day. I'll scroll back up to the top of the page. Right, and I'll just quickly click through the resources that are included. Now, on the left-hand side, when I click on Blackline Masters, it will show you the Blackline Masters for every single chapter, all in one hit. So you can access these very quickly and simply without having to navigate to the specific chapter. Also, right at the very bottom are generic Blackline Masters. So there's an additional 25 to 30 Blackline Masters generic that are available here for you to print off and use as required. Again, one of the philosophies behind this is to make it as simple as possible. Extra tasks, again, you're now looking at all the extra tasks that have been added for the entire online teacher resource. Again, these extra tasks you'll find are over and above what is already in the student resources, student books. Mappings, it's interesting. When we put these on and we started showing these to the teachers, we didn't think it was actually going to be that revolutionary. but what we found was that teachers absolutely loved the fact that we gave them the mappings between the New Zealand curriculum level 4 and the Connecting All Strands resource, and also back the other way. And then we also gave mappings from the national standards to our Connecting All Strands as well. So teachers have been really pleased with that. The interactive checkups I will show you at the end, but what we'll do right now, I'm going to click on a chapter, and what that chapter will do is it takes me straight through to chapter 15, which is measurement and geometry. Now you've got headings at the top here, and this follows the same format for every chapter. Again, we've given you the black line masters so that those are immediately available for you. We've given you the achievement objective as it sits with the curriculum. A tab which shows you what the students should already know. Now, if you've been using our stage books or using the NCM, earlier NCM level 3 books, and actually I'm correct that it is actually the NCM books that this primarily refers to, it will actually give you the features where it's been related to. So for that way, you've got a quick resource to be able to see where you could be reviewing. And what we will do is, as level 3A, Connecting All Strands, and level 3B come out, both of them hopefully due later this year, we will also update this so that it tells you where it's also referred to in the later level books, the new Connecting All Strands. We have a section with the extra tasks, and then again a section which then tells you how this links to other areas. Right, so if I go back to chapter 15, each of these blue headings currently are listed also in the book. So when you look at chapter 15, you will see that actually line symmetry is one of the headings, and then this will give you additional information. We have 3 ziggies that show up, and these are 3 ziggy icons. One of them is called a viewable, or a view, and that's where you can actually use that on your screen or your interactive whiteboard and bring up the image. Again, these load as a PDF very quickly for you to be able to simply put up on your screen and work in a class structure. I simply close that tab down, and it hasn't closed the rest of it. You'll find that as we scroll down, again, each of these tabs come up. There are teaching ideas, and there may be one where it just simply gives you a suggestion to use as a discussion or an idea as part of teaching that specific topic. You'll also see that there's a printable Ziggy, and this is where you can actually download the PDF, and this is designed specifically for you to print out and share with your class. There may or may not be needed scissors or additional resources. Usually if that's required, then we've got a third Ziggy which shows you a little wee Ziggy with the scissors. All right. And finally at the very bottom, it then refers to other chapters as well and gives you links to the other chapters too. So part of this is their strands are actually interwoven. So I had a question asked is this taught in individual strands? The answer is actually no. It covers all the strands, and the authors have actually made sure that each of the strands are interwoven on the advice of the advisors. The last thing I'll quickly show you is the interactive checkups. Now, when you subscribe to the online resource, this is for a school, and every teacher would have access to this. So it doesn't matter how many maths teachers you have, they would all have access to this, and every student would have access to the interactives. These follow the checkups in the level 4 student maths book, and here, for example, if I click on checkup 15, we've got some questions here, which is, for example, question 4, which of the yellow shapes has been translated to get the pink shape? So is the answer A, B, C, or D? let's say I tried A. I click on the answer. Ziggy says try again. So let's see if I try C. And Ziggy says well done. Again, it's a very simple first stage for us as far as the interactives go, and we've already had lots of feedback saying, look, it would be great to have some sort of reporting model. And that's one of the reasons why we've launched this as a subscription, so that we can then start to refine further changes with the interactives as we go. I'm just going to switch back now to the previous screen and take you through to resource. So this is the resource connecting all strands level 4A, and the one that's just hot off the press in the last 4 weeks is level 4B. Right? And the online teacher resource, which you'll find on our website, is what complements the level 4A books. Now look, we've actually got Marianne Tippler, who's one of the authors of the Connecting All Strands resources. In fact, she's been with us for a number of years writing these resources. So with the opportunity of a few more minutes, I'd like to open it up. If anyone's got any questions, then we'd love to be able to hear your questions or so one question that did pop up, Marianne, and you're there, aren't you, Marianne?
Yes, I am.
Oh, fantastic.
Hi, everyone.
Great. So what I did have asked was one of the teachers once asked me, do I really need both level 4A and level 4B?
Yes, you do. The level 4 curriculum, as you all know, was written as a 2-year course, and so we've written books so that students can work on the first book and then move on to the second book. So every one of the achievement objectives is actually covered in both books, or started in 4A and then finished in 4B, so that rather than splitting the topic and putting half of them in 4A and half of them in 4B, we decided it was better to start each objective in 4A, so that students would do that in the first year they were working on it, and then complete that objective in the 4B book. So yes, you do need both books to fully cover level 4.
Right. And I did actually have a second question. The difference between the Connecting All Strands and the numeracy stage books that came out previously, do I really need to be using the numeracy books now if I'm buying the Connecting All Strands?
Well, that really depends on how you're working with number and algebra strand. If you're following through the numeracy project and you're using the pink Ministry Education books, those ones that go from 1 to 9, then our stage books, as most of you will be aware, line up directly with those books, and they've got a specific chapter for each of those sample lessons in the pink books. And these books only cover the number of strand, whereas the Connecting All Strands books cover all of the strands, including the number and algebra, but they concentrate on the strategies which are in the curriculum. So there's extra strategies in our stage books that we don't cover specifically in the Connecting All Strands, but we do cover the number and algebra of the New Zealand curriculum fully. And we do interweave the strands, as Nigel said. So we've tried to connect them up as much as we possibly can. So as you're working with perhaps geometry and measurement, you'll find a little numeracy box which tells or reminds students about using strategies and what sorts of strategies they might use. So, and vice versa, when we teach the number and algebra, we try and bring in some of the other strands in the teaching of it.